So as we await for Transcendence to grace us on Global, or haunt us, depending on who you're talking to, I got a comment from a subscriber who requested to run through Paladin Cecil burst rotations. And I figured, okay, why not? We got time to kill, let's do it. And in doing this, I kind of realized it's less about his rotation and more so, at least in my opinion, more so about setting him up properly beforehand so that his burst can actually do some damage, because his burst doesn't do a whole lot of damage. It's mainly about the effect that you get afterwards. But you would still want to amp up the damage as much as you can, right? Take full advantage of that extra summon phase, for lack of a better word. So what we're working with right now is they already have Kurisame's debuff on it, 5 stacks. We are also stacking the Untitled burst effect on top of that. And I've never really messed around with the kite skull, so I figured we might as well just do it. And Krile with the regen, of course. This is kind of overkill for regen, and you'll see that in a second. But what I always do, okay, but anyway, about Paladin Cecil, what I usually like to do is I LD with them first before I even get into the burst, which I don't think I showed doing that, but Paladin Cecil LD'd already, so we can go in with the free skill. This is kind of just a rule of thumb for me. If characters have free skills to get off of their LDs, I will always LD before I go into the burst to take advantage of that free skill. Because usually I want to use one skill more than the other. And that's what we're going to do here. We just so happen to have launches set up right here too. Kais had nothing to do with these mannequins getting launched. They just, because they got hit so much, we figure we might as well just hit them too. Launch them back. Look at that regen. That's so good. That's amazing. So that's, okay, so that's Paladin's LD, Onion Knight's LD, Krile's overhead buff, the Onion Knight burst effect, and the Kurasame debuff, all working for us. And I like to opt for the free skill 2 for Paladin. So I'm not even going to press skill 1 at all. So look at that. We have all that working for us, but because it's split damage, we're not going to get past 75k. But that's alright. I don't really like the first skill because it's single target. No thank you. I wouldn't recommend using Paladin's burst on it. Look at that. That's not so bad. That's not so bad for a support burst. I know this is just a chaos stage, but still. I wouldn't recommend, unless you have no other options, I wouldn't recommend using Paladin Cecil's burst if you're going up against a single target, because Paladin's burst is already not going to do that much damage in the moment unless you're properly set up, like, you know, something like this, for example. There's other options too. This is just the one that I decided to go for as far as setup goes. But he's not going to do much damage at all against a single target. It's going to be tough to even get him to break that 1,000,000 mark unless you really, really set him up with something very specific. But like I said, it's more so about the effect. That's really the beauty of his burst, is the effect that you get afterwards. But you know, we might as well just pump up the damage while we can. That's what we're doing here. Alright, hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching.